Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Don Donald, and this is Motivation on Tees. Currently, we are on the 18th episode of our series of the top 5 motivational quotes ever. Watch out for number 3, because it's a shocking truth of life. Number 1, the harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. Yes, the sweetest victory in life comes from the hardest battle. Nothing gives that proud but sublime feeling of great accomplishment like a very hard and tough battle fought and won. But the secret to such a feat is in holding on longer than you ordinarily would. Therefore I tell you, don't give up, never back out. Don't deprive yourself of the opportunity to experience the joy that comes from the sweetest victory that only can come from holding on longer. And if you think you don't have such strength to withstand and withhold, think again. Let me tell you something now, everyone you see in life walking the streets of this earth has nature's gift of abundant strength in the inside. You may never know because nothing has called it up yet. Wait until showing your strength becomes the only option you have to save your life. Then you would realize that you have been so laden with strength all your life. What then? Tap into this great gift of nature and win the hardest battle life brings your way. If you still don't understand what I'm saying, wait. Peculiar situations of life will force such a strength out of you one day that you will remember Don Donald. Leslie Calvin Brown, or Les Brown for short, who is the postulator of this quote, is a great American motivational speaker and author. I will give you 3 of his most rewarding quotes of all time. 1. No matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I am going to make it. Life has no limitations except the ones you make. You will win if you don't quit. You are the only real obstacle in your path to fulfilling it. 2. You got to be hungry. If you take responsibility for yourself, you will develop a hunger to accomplish your dreams. When your why is big enough, you will find your how. The greatest revenge is massive success. Do what is easy and your life will be hard. Do what is hard and your life will become easy. 3. And lastly, you cannot expect to achieve new goals or move beyond your present circumstances unless you change. When life knocks you down, try to land on your back. Because if you can look up, you can get up. Let your reason get you back up. Too many of us are not living our dreams because we are living our fears. Let's go on now to the next great quote in the video. Number 2, make sure your worst enemy doesn't lie between your own 2 ears. Question: who is this possible worst enemy that might likely be living between your 2 ears? Don't go far for the answer. Just hold up your right and left ears with your right and left hand respectively before a mirror, and see who lives in between. And if that is not you, then, we all are wrong. Oh my! You can be your own worst enemy without even knowing it. What goes on in our minds every moment of the day can either make or mar our success. Watch yourself, watch your mind, watch your thinking. Our ability to think, if not well guarded, can be our undoing. Our thoughts can tear us down or build us up. It's important to always recognize what is happening between our own 2 ears, because that's where fear and self-doubt creep into your system at the weirdest moments and tell you can't make it. It took a professional surfer who understands too well the art of surfing to give the world this quote. Because as surfers surf through the waves of the oceans, so do all humans surf through the waves of their emotions. And you must become a professional or a proficient surfer, whether literally or figuratively, if you must remain afloat in the sea. Laird John Hamilton is an American big wave surfer who also co-invented toe-in surfing, and another occasional fashion and action sports model. His best words are, 1. If you can look at one of these waves and you don't believe that there's something greater than we are, then you've got some serious analyzing to do and you should go sit under a tree for a very long time. 2. If you just get out of your own way, it is amazing what will come to you. Don't be afraid to really use your imagination. Let it run wild. It's one of the most powerful tools you've got. 3. And lastly, your path is yours alone. And if it's the path less traveled, that's absolutely fine. The world doesn't need more conformists. The world needs more people who create, question and search. Next, number 3, the work you do while you procrastinate is probably the work you should be doing for the rest of your life. Wow, what a statement. Now you may want to argue that the things you retreat into when you don't feel like doing your routine job are really what you should be doing for the rest of your life. But what if they are? Have you ever considered that? This quote is really neither here nor there, but only helps to push you into a deeper self-search to really discover what your true purpose in life is, to be sure you are not missing the right path to tread. That's why I ask, what do you like doing when you don't feel like doing what you do for a living, presently? For instance, there comes a day someone who does photography or designing for a living may not want to take shots or design, but rather choose to do something else. That's why Jessica Hischer is saying what she's saying in this quote. Be sure that the things you want to do when you procrastinate are not probably the work you should be doing all your life. This is no doubt a question a lot of us are dealing with these days. Because Jessica's statement is one that readily resonates with us and pushes us to look farther and deeper into the whole idea of work and right livelihood, telling us to keep track of the ways we procrastinate to see if there's anything to learn from that. Jessica Nicole Hischer is an American type designer, illustrator and letterer who is best known for her personal projects, such as Daily Drop Cap and Should I Work for Free Flowchart. Her other great quotes are, 1. To be a good artist, letterer, designer, guitar player it takes practice. A lot of it. More than you can even fathom when you're starting out. 2. Every new thing you make should be, the nicest thing you've made so far, because you're learning and getting better with each and every new project. 3. And lastly, if you are on Craigslist to get a sofa, and you see one for free. You think there's something tragically wrong with it, maybe there are bed bugs. But if you see a sofa on there for $2,500, you think, oh man, that sofa must be amazing. It's the same thing with art, you set your own value. Next, number 4, if you are not willing to risk the usual you will have to settle for the ordinary. And I will say it this way, if you are not ready to leave your comfort zone, you will never achieve anything worthwhile in life. This is because, nobody succeeds in life without first leaving behind the usual. Nobody does. If you want to remain where you are presently, doing exactly what you have been doing, but expecting a different result, I will tell you straight, you are probably one of the greatest jokers ever to have lived. Don't forget, the best definition of madness or insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, and expecting a different result. If you are not willing to settle for the ordinary, then, you must be willing to risk the usual. Your old way of doing things must therefore change. Of course, this means that those who achieve great things in life go through things that aren't comfortable for them. Yes, they do. But I rather discomfort myself for a while to achieve what I intend to achieve than to remain in my comfort zone wishing for what would never come. The truth is that, if you stay in your comfort zone, you can't expect to achieve anything greater than what you've been doing. That's the message of Jim Rohn tonight, and it's a very clear one. Emmanuel James Rohn, known as Jim Rohn, was an American author, entrepreneur and motivational speaker who made several life-changing quotes in his lifetime, of which I would enumerate 3. 1. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. Because indeed, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines, practiced every day. And discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Either you run the day, or the day runs you. 2. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Never wish life were easier, wish that you were better. Formal education will make you a living, self-education will make you a fortune. 3. And lastly, if you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And guess what they have planned for you? Not much. Next, number 5, sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. This is an undeniable phenomenon of life. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn from your loss. Notice that the quote doesn't say, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but rather it says, sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Because there is really no loss in life but only lessons. The only thing we have in life are lessons and never losses. Of course you do not expect to win all the time, but you can expect to learn all the time. Because also, in winning you learn, in losing you also learn. Whether you win or you lose, you learn. This is why every failure, every downfall, and every setback, whether professional or personal, can be a source of lessons towards success, if only you know how to, and possess the right tools to turn your losses into gains. Let me tell you what you may not know, and probably may learn from this video tonight. Life's greatest lessons are gained from your losses. But sadly, everyone experiences loss in life at one point in time or the other, but not everyone learns from it. Learn to learn from your loss. And don't put winning ahead of learning in your life, or you will suffer, because failure is part of life. It is bound to come, and when it does come, remain hopeful and try to be teachable. In the face of loss or mistakes, you gain insight and value from understanding how not to repeat similar mistakes or how not to encounter similar losses, thereby teaching yourself how to turn every loss into a learning experience for greater success and accomplishment in life. It was John C. Maxwell, the #1 New York Times best-selling author, speaker and pastor that gave the world this great quote. Maxwell made other very interesting leadership quotes, which is actually his primary area of focus. I will give you just 3. 1. A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. People buy into the leader before they buy into the vision. Leaders must be close enough to relate to others, but far enough ahead to motivate them. 2. A good leader is a person who takes a little more than his share of the blame and a little less than his share of the credit. A man must be big enough to admit his mistakes, smart enough to profit from them, and strong enough to correct them. The greatest day in your life and mine is when we take total responsibility for our attitudes. That's the day we truly grow up. 3. And lastly, people never care how much you know until they know how much you care. I will see you in the next video. If you have not subscribed to our channel yet, please subscribe, and make sure you hit the notification bell, so you are notified each time we upload a new video. Also like, leave a comment, and share our videos with your friends and family if you find them valuable. Thank you.